welcome Tony to the Vodafone Rural TV studio here at Fieldays. Now, Tony Baird, you're the Chief Networking Officer for Vodafone. Quite a large role.
Yeah, it's a great role actually. I think it's one of the best jobs in New Zealand. I get to build all these rural cell sites and roll out the network, upgrading right across the country at the moment, which is great.
Fantastic. So you're rolling out 4G currently in rural New Zealand, not just the city centres.
So we're testing 4G at the moment in Lake Brunner,
Yeah.
in the middle of the South Island, and we are also have 4G off the Mystery Creek Fieldays site, and then towards the end of this year the government will be auctioning off the analogue TV spectrum as the old analogue TVs get turned off. We're looking to purchase some of that radio spectrum, and that spectrum will be used towards the end of this year, next year, hopefully for rural 4G.
Fantastic. For our viewers who don't really understand so much 3G, 4G, to them it's just numbers and letters.
Yeah.
What does 4G actually mean?
It's the difference between a two-cylinder car and a V8.
Nice explain. Farmers will get that. Yeah, absolutely. So you've got a speed test here in regards to the difference between 3G and 4G. It's pretty amazing speed, isn't it? So for instance, watching rural TV, it'd be like that.
And which we'll do in a couple of minutes actually. So on technology sort of started out with 2G, where you made phone calls and got texts, and these days people want near real-time video. For rural people it's going to be agricultural productivity with tractor and irrigation and other farm tools, dairy sheds, effluent, irrigation monitoring, all that sort of thing. And you're going to need more and more speed and more coverage on wireless networks. So that's what hopefully this 4G will deliver.
Yeah, sure. I mean, here in the Vodafone site, we've got a lot of partners with Vodafone, a lot of applications and software. We're having better broadband or just increase opportunities on what you can do.
Well, with New Zealand being a rural sector country, having those sort of tools in the rural farmers' hands is going to be what drives hopefully our export industry, our productivity, and it's good for the whole country.
It's great to have Vodafone right behind that as well. So in regards to the RBI rollout, can you tell us a bit more about what's happening currently on that?
Yeah, sure. So RBI stands for Rural Broadband Initiative. So rural broadband being basically trying to get broadband or high-speed internet into farmers and the rural community. There's 154 new cell sites being built right across New Zealand. So the one up the top of the hill here at Mystery Creek is one of those. Lake Brunner is another. They're being built right across the country. We've turned on about 45 so far, and there'll be another 30 odd between now and the end of the year. So we're trucking along quite fast on it. Most of those cell sites have fibre optics to the cell site, and then we build a tower between 30 and 35 metres high, and on that we put 2G, 3G and ultimately 4G technology, so you get up to say 20 kilometres range from that, so it covers the rural area. Those cell sites are capable of carrying more than one telco, so Vodafone is building them in partnership with the government, but other telcos get access to them, so it's a pretty good scheme.
Yeah, right. So it's not just going to increase our coverage, say, for making phone calls, but also that's how you will utilise the rural wireless broadband plans for Vodafone through those cell towers.
Correct. So you get two. You can get your normal mobile telephone, obviously. You get the machine-to-machine, which is important for rural productivity, monitoring things like milk vats and effluent and irrigators and the other bits and pieces, so that's machine-to-machine. But you also get an in-home wireless modem, which gives you in-the-home broadband. So you get a range of offerings from effectively a fixed in-home broadband offering right through to mobility on the farm.
And so basically, if you don't have copper or access to broadband fixed into your property, that doesn't matter.
No, that's correct.
Yeah.
So you, in your home, you would put a small antenna. It's called a Yagi antenna. It's about that long, and it's got some aluminium spikes off it. You screw that to the side of the house, a cable drops into the house and you put a wireless modem at the end of that, and then you've got broadband throughout the house.
Sure, and that connects direct to the cell tower?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you have to have a clear line to the cell tower?
No, the radio signals can go around and through obstacles.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Can't go straight through a hill, of course.
Yeah, sure. Wonderful, wonderful. It's very exciting. There's a lot of opportunities, obviously, with this rollout, and it's just really creating awareness, isn't it, now, about who can possibly be in those areas.
That's right. So we actually, on our website, have a site that describes when a certain area will be upgraded, what the coverage will be, and I mean, like all predictive tools, it's not 100% accurate, but certainly you'll get a very good idea of the dates and the coverage that is being covered by this new upgrade.
Wonderful. You were speaking to me earlier about something that's very exciting for a lot of my Wanaka friends. And I have been in Wanaka on New Year's Eve and Wanaka show weekend and trying to make phone calls, etc. But there's an exciting development just this week.
Yeah, so
Wanaka.
I mean, I must apologise for the congestion that was caused over Christmas and the New Year period, and Vodafone has worked very hard to rectify that. So we've been upgrading all of the Wanaka sites. In fact, this week we've just finished, so hopefully there's been a couple of sites we had to take down where we were replacing all the antennas and all the equipment inside it. But yeah, we have 4G in Wanaka. So
4G in Wanaka.
Yep.
That is amazing. Very, very exciting stuff. Thank you, Vodafone, for doing that. In regards to congestion over those really busy peak periods, that cell tower now can handle a lot more.
Yeah, so basically 4G is important because it's very good for data.
Yeah.
So a lot of the data usage that was on 2G or 3G will now work on 4G with the right sort of device. And on the 3G layer, we've actually added a lot more capacity as well. So we now have 2 radio frequencies and on 3G. We also have 2G and we have the 4G. So there's a huge amount of capacity that we've added. So, you know, we'll monitor it, and I obviously will be closely monitoring Wanaka, Queenstown and other areas for congestion going forward.
Sure, so it's not like this is 6-12 months away, this is happening now. This is
right
rolling
now.
out now.
Queenstown, Wanaka and hopefully Arrowtown will all be upgraded over the next few weeks, if not already done.
Yeah, sure, fantastic. So in regards to demonstrating the speed of 4G,
A thing called Speed Test. Speedtest.net is a global website, and you can see up in this left-hand corner it's on 4G. We're getting 5 bars of 4G off the Mystery Creek cell site, and basically this will send a message to a server and request a whole pile of data, and it's basically a simple test to check how quickly the network responds and how much data you're downloading. So if I just run that now, we'll see what we get. So firstly it's testing what's called latency, or the speed of accessing the network, in about 1/4 of a second.
Wow.
It's now downloading a 20 megabyte file, and that was 40 megabits per second, which is faster than DSL.
yes.
And it's uploading, which is great for Facebook and other applications, at 25 megabits per second. So upload is getting as important as download these days with things like photographs and Facebook. So you've got 40 meg down, 25 meg up, 1/4 of a second for the whole system to respond, which is very, very fast for video especially, in this congested environment. So pretty good.
I was explaining earlier my father's fibre connection, fixed fibre connection, was getting 70 megabits per second, and that's 4G's 40 megabits per second. So in regards to the speed, it's going to be instantaneous, isn't it? So Skype video calling,
so
it's going to be
should we run your website?
Sure.
Let's
Go to Rural TV and see how fast that is.
And see how fast that is. So if we go to YouTube,
Rural TV on YouTube.
so let's find what have we got here.
The Rural Bachelors now uploaded online.
So that's
no buffering, no waiting, no pausing.
Straight into it. You can see how clear that video is.
Crystal clear HD. So Vodafone partnering with Rural TV, it's a fantastic partnership for us to be able to move our business forward through online and on demand becoming so much more popular, and then we can actually offer now a really high quality product because of that speed. So it's going to be good moving forward, isn't it?
Exciting.
Yeah.
This is the 21st century, and this 4G is really going to be part of it.
So this New Zealand's on the back foot, third world country in terms of internet connections. It's gone. The days of that are gone.
Well, once we finish the rollout, we finish the rollout.
Yeah, sure. Well, Tony, thank you so much for coming in, and I think that's really explained it a lot better of how it actually all works and the benefits that it's going to be for farmers in New Zealand. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
Tony.